Yeah? It talks about some stuff in this chapter. You know? Shit. Yeah. Huh? Listen to this shit. As addicts, this is in Who's an Addict, chapter 1, the book. As addicts, we are people whose use of any mind-altering, mood-changing substance causes a problem in any area of life. Didn't say a goddamn thing about drugs. Didn't say shit about drugs. We're talking about the disease, not the substance. We're talking about obsession and compulsion without the use of drugs. And I'm going to coin this tonight. I'm going to coin this for Narcotics Anonymous. And I'm telling you, take it to your home groups. Take it back. I'm talking about OCWUD or awkward. Awkward. I'm going to talk about awkward tonight. Obsession and compulsion without the use of drugs. You understand? Awkward. You understand? It talks about addiction is a disease that involves more than the use of drugs. What do I mean by that? At the age of 6, I had a job. I got a little kiddie job. And my job was at H&L Greens in a department store. You understand? And I dug my job. My first job in life was as a hula hooper. I hula hooped. You know? Talking about who's the addict. Every time they arrested my ass, and they did that a lot. You understand? They had, when I robbed this bank or I robbed that bank, and I got away, they put a composite sketch out. You understand? So they how did his nose look? How did his ears look? How was his hair? How was his chin? A composite so they could see the person who robbed the joint. We're talking about taking a look at the disease of addiction. You know? Yeah, a disease of addiction. I was 6 years old. I had a job hula hooping. I got real nice with it to make the shit rise up to my neck. I was nice. I'm telling you. You know, as addicts, we get good. Well, we're talking about obsession. Obsession, you want to know another word for it? Perfection. Perfection. That's one word for it. Got many faces. Got many. Ego. You know, all that ism. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I want some identification here. Don't make me feel like no fucking freak. And see, I had this thing. I had the same thing going on inside of me that was going on when I walked into the dope factory. In the dope factory in the old days, when the half a load, 15 bags. You understand? But when you walked into the spot and the whole table was covered with half a loads of doogie. And you walked in and you said, oh, shit. Oh, look at that shit. And you made your ass get all hot and you get flashes. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Huh? That same thing. Well, I had a thing. I had a Jones. I had a Jones for dunking yo-yos. Yo-yos was my thing. You understand? I like the, see, he knows. I like the Imperial joint. Clear joint. Clear blue, clear yellow, you understand? Clear green. I liked it. And I had a thing for it. And when I was doing the hula hooping thing, I was casing out H&L Greens. You know? I watched Greens. Now keep in mind, this is 1954 I'm talking about. 1954, I got an allowance from my parents. I got $5 a week. And I didn't spend shit. I held on to every goddamn penny because I wanted more. That sound familiar? Huh? More. Give me as much as I can give me. Give me. You know? And I went to like the kiddie camp. So I had one of them. They got arts and crafts. And they gave me one of them things to make a wallet out of. And the wallet didn't have no spot for pictures of credit cards. It was just 2 pieces of fucking leather, you know, with some lanyard material. You understand? And I stick my $5 in every week, religiously. You know, talking about practice. Talking about, that's too much for me. I can't practice that. I practice that shit every week, and I hide it under the radiator. And it would get all burnt the fuck up, the wallet. You know? The wallet be burnt up. And what happens, I had my money, I was down at H&L Greens, and the obsession came over me. And I had to have them yo-yos, but I wanted to go from A to see without ever going to be. What does that mean? I start looking around, you know how addicts do. I look this way, and I look that way. And I start putting them yo-yos in my pocket. Start stuffing them in my pocket, all down in my crotch and stuff like that. And I began to walk away, and I went over, and I saw another bin, and it was like, wow, it was a great bin. It was a great, look at this shit. It was them butterflies, Dunkin' butterflies, the good kind you know, make walk the dog, walk the dog, you know, it's three too long things. Come on, back on. Kick it up. I'm talking about I had a thing with these yo-yos. I'm talking about an obsession and a compulsion without the use of drugs. Didn't have a damn thing to do with drugs. You understand? I can't blame that shit on awkward. Can't blame it on no motherfucking drugs, you know? So like, now keep in mind, I had about $70 in that wallet. Yet I chose to stick them in my pocket. Now, do you have any idea, and some of y'all can't, because I can tell y'all wearing hair like me. You understand? Some of you motherfuckers thin on top. You understand? You know what you could do with $70 in 1954? You could fucking put a down payment on a house. That was a lot of money. Bread was 17 cents. Milk was damn near a dime. Huh? I'm talking about, but I wasn't going to spend no money. You know, my brother John H., he's sitting over here. I look at John H., he help him, y'all, he's a newcomer. Help him out when you see him, right there. John H., I love him. 5 months in recovery. John H., he would always run to the store and buy potato chips and buy candy. I said, what the fuck is wrong with him? You know, kids out there, stupid motherfucker. He's spending his money. Just shit. I ain't spending shit. I'm keeping my money. You understand? And I couldn't. I stole the yo-yos, and a big guy, and anybody back in the time, anybody to a 6-year-old was a big guy. And he walked up to me and he told me, you got to come over here with me. He arrested me, and he called my father up. And my father came down. And my father, you know, did what a lot of parents who think they're doing something good for you. He bought the yo-yos. I didn't get a record. And he put the yo-yos up on the mantle and told me, don't fuck with them yo-yos. Don't you touch them yo-yos. You know? And like, you know how that is, you know. A week went by, and I saw that he wasn't paying much attention, so I grabbed a yo-yo. I love dunking yo-yo. Now, you think I'm bullshitting? I got a yo-yo in my car. I ain't lying. I got a yo-yo in my car. I got 3 yo-yos to my name today. I'm talking about I like yo-yos. My shit ain't too bad either. You know? I'm talking, but I got, you know, but with the help of y'all, I put some cut on that shit. You know? I'm talking about obsession and compulsion. My parents enabled me, and they shouldn't have done that. And I share this with parents in here. My father didn't do a damn thing. On yo-yos, I took them one by one. He didn't do nothing. Therefore, I felt like it was no big deal. What difference did it make? You know, he enabled me to do what I did. I need to say this. Talking about obsession and compulsion without the use of drugs. We're talking about who is an addict. What lengths would I go to? What lengths would we ain't talking about the drug yet. I was 14 years old. 14. And I was into jazz. I like jazz. I like Thelonious Monk, Coltrane, you know, Miles. You know, I was a young guy. But I was hip. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that sound familiar? Huh? Caught in the grip of being terminally hip and fatally cool. Couldn't tell me shit. I was so motherfucking hip that I wore a beanie in the wintertime. John ain't to tell you I ain't lying. I wore a fucking blue and white beanie to the boys club in the snow with sneakers and no socks. I was cool. You know? When he say like, Oscar Brown Jr. say, oh, but I was cool. I was cool. You understand? I liked the jazz. And I was hanging in the projects. My girlfriend, she was 12 and I was 14. You understand? And she was in the projects. And like every night, her mother took care of her and said, you got to come in the house. Come in. It's dark. The sun went down. Get in the house, girl. And that leave me out there by myself. You understand? By myself. And I left the fuck. What am I going to do? I'm looking for that excitement. You understand? Sound familiar? Looking for that excitement. Got something to do. I'm going home. Going home? Forget going home. So I was drinking that Gypsy Rose wine. I smoked a little reefer. But it was starter shit. I wasn't in the grip of nothing. It was just something to do. But I met this woman. And I emphasize woman. She was 21 years old. I was 14. She taught Latin jazz dancing. You understand? She was down with the Fania All-Stars and shit. Her shit was nice. She give you one-on-one, or she give you some group shit. And I began to like her. And she began to like me. But then I began to like her. You know what I'm talking about? I had to have her. You understand? Now, if I was a female, it would have been child molestation or rape. But because I'm a male child, we're talking about obsession and compulsion now. What does that mean? I'm talking about ego. Shit. She's 21, I'm 14, she wants me, I'm all that. And a bag of chips. I'm talking. See, I could give you that slam bam hit on Who's the Addict based on the other experiences I had in using the jails and all the prisons and shit. Like, I want to do something different here. I want a chance to grow. I don't want to say the same shit and play no old tapes. I got an asshole full of old tapes. I don't want no old tapes, not tonight. So like this woman, she was to me, she was the greatest thing that ever happened. She was exciting. She was a dancer. This is what I called her. In my heart and in my mind, she was a jazz aficionado. She was a mambo queen. I loved it. I loved her. Then I looked at you, Tanya, when I'm talking about a dancer. Tanya can dance now. Yeah, and like, let me tell you what, this obsession got so tough. And I'm not talking about drugs. She was not the ways and means to get more drugs. I'm 14, so my parents had me in the house at a reasonable time. For me, that was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was out of control. You know what I'm talking about? I've been out, check it out, Who's the Addict? I'm telling you, I was out of control. Back in them days. You understand? I climb up and I go to my room, 2nd floor. And then when it's quiet, when I can hear them sleeping, I make my phone call. So don't tell me you got no fucking problem using the phone. I was using the phone. You can come over now. And I ease my bedroom window up. Ease it up. Climb out on the roof. Ease the window back down. And then I had to become very daring. Because I had to take a running start. Because I'm on the 2nd floor, I'm on the roof. And how am I going to get down to the 1st floor? I said, oh shit, I got no choice. I gotta do it. And I'm going to take a running dive. And then I go and I dive into the apple tree. Oh! Scratch the fuck up. Hit all of the nuts, eyes half poked out. And I climbed down that apple tree. I had gotten a key made for my mother's car, and I'm only 14. New Jersey, you gotta be 17 to drive. That key wasn't to drive. That key was for the back seat. We're talking about the ways and means to get more. I'm telling you, I'm not talking about drugs. I'm talking about obsession and compulsion without the use of drugs or awkward. Now, we went into this obsession. Well, it went on for 7 years. 7 years this went on with this woman, the apple tree. Trying to point some shit out here. I'm not crazy. It's just that I want what I want when I want it. Can you identify with that? Yeah. No, I ain't talking about no drugs. December 15th and 16th, 1971, I'm in Yardville prison. I told y'all the grip, it get me to jails, institutions, and death. The grip. But in 1971, I was in the grip, and they sent my ass to prison. They gave me some pre-Narcotics Anonymous anonymity. They called me 33-262. And I'm talking about anonymity now. If you write a letter with my name on it without my number, I ain't getting the motherfucker. They don't play names. They play anonymity. So it didn't start in NA. So I'm anonymous than a motherfucker in Yardville prison. And I'm walking around with some guys just like you, just like Harold Day and Vaughn, just walking around here, John H. and Thomas, you understand? I'm walking around and like, there ain't no drugs at this time. That's why I'm talking about Oxwood. Because there was no drugs there. Not then. There was no drugs in Yardville prison. All right? When you went there, you was at a cold stop. You know? You was an addict, you Jones, because you didn't get nothing. You understand? You hope for a TV commercial. We can sweat a little bit, see somebody shoot some dudes you on TV. You got nothing, you know? So I'm there, and I said, fuck, I don't like the way this is going. I don't like this prison. I'm telling you, I don't like the prison. I say, Harold, I think we should do something about this. Vaughn, fuck this, Vaughn. Vaughn, fuck this. I don't like the prison. Do you like it? No, I don't like it either. We said, okay, fuck it. Okay, we're going to do something about this. So we took hostages. We seized the warden and a correction officer. We took the South 1 housing unit for 2 days, and we felt powerful. Check it out. Yeah, obsession and compulsion. We were the shit. I ain't saying nothing about no drugs. I'm talking about an attitude, an idea, and a behavior. Who the fuck is an addict? That's what I'm talking about tonight. The non-generic approach to this shit. Let's take a self-examination. Let's take a look at your behavior without no duty. See how the fuck you are. You understand? That's why I want to take this approach. You understand? So now we say, fuck it. Okay, take him. Take him in that room. Shave the warden's mustache. You know? They shaded his mustache. See, we all, back in the day, we all had brown khaki outfits on, and we can have no hair on our face. Understand? So we said, fuck, if the warden got a mustache, well then when they come in for us, they won't get him, but if we got him, check it out. If we make him anonymous, don't let nobody tell you addicts are stupid, all right? You know, we made him anonymous, then they would think twice about storming the joint. You understand? So we made him anonymous. We made the correction officer anonymous. And we was really the shit then. We got power. I ain't out of control. I'm in control even in prison. I don't give a fuck if I'm in prison. I'm still the shit. Don't you know? Check it out. Don't you know who I am? Come on, man. We talking about ideas, attitudes, and behaviors. You know? So then 2 days we doing that. Give us this. We want food. Send some fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah, we had them demands. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I don't like to mess medical conditions. I don't like the visiting area. I want, here's a word for you. I want conjugal visit. Woo! Yeah, why not? Why not? I'm a human being. I'm telling you. I think we should have better recreation. You know, we say, fuck the bocce ball. We want tennis courts. I'm talking about those kind of ideas, attitudes, and behavior. Never thought about correcting my behavior so I wouldn't end the fuck up in a spot like that. Never. I'm talking about I did 15 years in prison. I want you to hear that. 15 years in prison. I had a lot of anonymity. Huh? 51-410 was the next one. 54-45, 625-24. I'm talking about not one time in 15 years did I make a goddamn examination that maybe I was the problem and that maybe I needed to change. I always whipped out the blame thrower. I scorched your ass with some blame. It was the white man. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. There was always somebody. And what you say, we can no longer blame people, places, or things. You understand? You gotta face and own them. Gotta face and own my behavior. So I'm in there, we got the cop, we got the warden. All of a sudden, we got it for 2 days. We demanded chicken and mashed potatoes and string beans. You know, we want newspaper men. We want cameras. We want everything. All of a sudden we hear noise that nobody who's doing some shit like I'm doing want to hear. All of a sudden you hear this shit. If you've been in Vietnam, you know what I'm talking about. You hear all of a sudden over your head, you hear some... What the fuck is that, man? What the fuck is that? Is that the radio? No, we run to the window. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Helicopter gunship. Oh, man, state police helicopter gunships. And then you see a ladder drop out. They drop a ladder out. The ladder only go down this far. Don't hit all the way to the ground. The ladder drop out. And then you see these motherfuckers come up out the helicopter with them pressed clean cop outfits. They got Darth Vader helmets. You've been where I've been, you know what I'm talking about. They got them shields this long, fucking billy clubs this long, pump shotguns that shoot little sandbags that will bust your fucking chest. You understand? Because they don't want to kill you. They want to hurt your ass. Check it out. They want to help you. They come down. They don't come down like you or I would come down. They come down with this regiment shit, like this. When they get to the bottom of the ladder, they just jump down. And they go. A whole bunch of them motherfuckers. Hey, reality starts kicking in. You know what I'm talking about? It's time for some foxhole shit. Oh, God. You look and say, oh, shit, you're all right over here. You do what you say. We do it in there. You say, we decided that we better have a group conscience. We came back to the negotiating table and we invoked the spiritual principle of surrender. I'm talking obsession and compulsion without the use of drugs. Behavior, attitudes, ideas, and behaviors. You understand? Those attitudes, ideas, and behaviors told me that I could go from A to C without going to B. What did that mean? That my disease progressed What the fuck does it say here in recovery and relapse? Let's start hitting now. Come on. Huh? What does it say here in recovery and relapse? Huh. Shit. The progression of recovery is a continuing uphill journey. Without effort, complacency in other words. Without effort, we start the downhill run again. The progression of the disease is an ongoing process, even during abstinence. The first thing I did wrong, that I really did wrong on the money tip, on the crime tip, was steal from my mother, dip into a pocketbook. Always victimize the ones closest. You understand? It ended up where I robbed Central Jersey Bank and Trust Company in Mattawa, New Jersey. I can say that because the statute of limitations is gone. You understand? Fuck, I was in prison all them years and not no law library. You know, they can't do shit to me these days. You know, the only thing that don't have a statute of limitations is murder. I'm trying to tell you something. If you addicts in here, anybody, you got a body, don't you go share on that shit. Because there ain't no statute of limitations. They'll get you 30 years from now. I'm trying to tell you something. I figured information is what keeps our asses here. There's some amends. There's some amends. The only way we can make the goddamn amends is not to use. Keep coming back. That fucking, you know, we say be honest, but don't be stupid. Yeah. It's a disease that progressed when I robbed Central Jersey Bank and Trust Company. You know, took money, began to do things like that, and it got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse. But what had happened is because I had formed ideas, attitudes, and behaviors early on, didn't have a damn thing to do with drugs. All right, the drugs simply became a justification and a rationalization in a way to not feel because it was hard, not you, hard for me to do shit like that. Not using and keep it up. You're talking about a goddamn job. You understand? Need something to kill my own pain. You know? And the drugs. They say in the second step, drugs were only the most obvious symptom of our disease. Only the most obvious symptom of our disease. The disease of addiction. You know? This disease, as it say here, don't have a damn thing to do. Check it out. It didn't say nothing about that. It simply says in this here that there's a snot. There's a snot. Y'all, hey. That's spiritual snot. Get spiritual snot. I can't help it. You understand? I broke my nose. Broke my nose when I check it out when I stole my mother's car when I was 16 years old. Had no business driving it. You remember, John? Drove it into a fire hydrant telephone pole. My nose never been the same since. So if you see snot, it's a snot of recovery. We're talking about who's the addict. Who's the addict? I answered every question in this little pamphlet, am I an addict? I answered every single question. Yes. Yes. I stayed out there so long, I refused to surrender. We're talking about surrendering to the disease of addiction. Surrendering to obsession and compulsion without the use of drugs. Trying to surrender to that on a daily basis. And it's very difficult for me. Hard for me. Hard because what this program talks about is one thing. It talks about that any addict can stop using drugs, lose the desire to use, and find a new way to live. Now you're starting to fuck with me. Because now you're talking about somebody who is in the grip of an old, dead way. A grip of a useless way of life that now is being asked to live a new way. A new way. What the fuck is a new way? For 33 years, 8 years on starter drugs, 25 years on my drug of choice, for 33 years, all I knew was the myth of self-sufficiency. The myth that I could do it. No matter how many times I fell on my face, I could do it. You understand? I'll use by myself. I'll rob by myself. I'll steal by myself. I can do it. I don't need anybody. You understand? And I never realized, I told you before, after 15 years in prison, I never realized that it was me that needed to change. You know? I came out of prison after 15 years, and I did what I always did, and I got what I always got. I picked up more charges. I was on my way back. I'm trying to tell you, on my way back, one would say, Well, goddamn, man, when are you going to get the fucking message? How do I get the message unless I get information on a new way to live? I got to put my ass here, y'all, to bring the body, and the mind will follow. I have to be here to find out a new way to live, because I have to get with people who are living a new way. I'm talking about putting cut on my obsession and compulsion without the use of drugs. Putting some cut on Achwood. Cut the motherfucker up. How do I do that? It talks about in the first step that we don't come here brimming with honesty, open-mindedness, and willing. We don't come here. Don't you get in my goddamn face telling me all the time, get honest, get honest, get honest. I'll get honest when the fuck I can. I'm fucking trying to run my life. Help me. When I ask for it, share your experience, strength, and hope. It's just for anyone who wants our way of life. We share experience, strength, and hope instead of preaching and judging. Don't fucking judge me. I'm telling you, don't judge me. And I won't judge you. I work hard not to judge anybody. Fuck do I know about a new way to live? I don't know. I come here to find out. Help me. That's all I tell you. I beg you, help me. Don't fucking act like I'm supposed to know something. I don't know shit. If I knew something, I wouldn't be here. The fuck I drive to Springfield, Massachusetts for if I knew everything. Put the biggie on. We come here, to fucking Narcotics Anonymous. We come here powerless, without juice, without knowing a new way to live. And the power that we seek comes to us through other people in Narcotics Anonymous, but we must reach out for it. Recovery and relapse. You know? It talks about that here. It says in the 7th step, if we truly want to be free, we'll take a good look at input from other addicts. And input ain't always you in my goddamn face. Taking my inventory, telling me I should be doing this, I should be doing, mind your fucking business. This shit is deep. This shit is real deep. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using. A desire of my fucking understanding. I don't gotta have your desire. It says I gotta find my desire. Find it. That's the only requirement. They say I don't even have to fucking stop using. I gotta just keep coming. Huh? Desire is the spiritual principle of the third tradition. The stopping, the actual sticking and staying and stopping, is divine providence. That belongs to God. Nobody, none of you stop me from using. What does it say? Huh? Shit. Fuck this. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. It say right here. It say, they, addicts, they can be analyzed. Analyzed. You know what I'm talking about? That's right. Well, I think one that perhaps you should specialize differently. You know? Counsel. Huh? Would you, Vaughn? Would you like group or individual therapy? Yeah. You say reason with. I know you can identify with this. Oh, please. Please don't do it again. Please. Shit. It doesn't work. You know? It doesn't work. It talks about being prayed over. I said prayed over. I'm going to go Beaten. I got a scar on my leg. Beat me with a jail cell. They beat my ass. The bone was sticking out. They sticked it up with paint in it. I almost lost my leg. My leg was blown up down to the ankle. And they put me in the county jail. And they wouldn't clean it out because they said I was nothing but a handkerchief head dope fiend, a bum. I was no good. They told me I'd never recover. And I'm here to tell them that the fucking lie is dead. This shit is deep. It talks about all addicted persons are welcome. Welcome. It's a quote. Welcome and equal in obtaining the relief that they are seeking from their addiction. You don't got to come here and get my fucking relief. What we want you to do is come and find the relief that you need. Find it. Wear them shoes of relief. The way I found them is to keep coming back, bringing my ass here. Stop taking people's inventory about what time they come to a meeting, what time they leave. You know? You know, oh, look at that motherfuckers leaving. Where's it going? No. Where you going, man? Where you going, our king? You think you stay a little longer? Leave that motherfucker alone. Leave him alone. I came for 3.5 years using. I'm fucking clean. This shit works. Just let me come. Just fucking let me come. Don't try to shackle my ass and guide me with that. An addict will not stop using until they get ready to stop using. Make it available to me. Make the hope available. Have the goddamn meeting place and open on time. Understand? Reach out to the newcomer. Hug them. Say you need anything. You need a ride. Because who the fuck is an addict? We're talking about who the fuck is an addict. This shit is deep. You know, it's deep. I'm an addict of the hopeless variety. Who, by the grace of God, clean and in recovery. You understand what I'm saying? Obsession use has been lifted. No, they did to me. They did to me. I kept coming, and I like to say that my friend Roger sitting right in front. I kept coming, and I started to get some time here. Then I started to get some years here. Roger, you know, then Roger been early recovery. He's a little ahead of me, but we down together. You know what I'm saying? We kept coming, no matter what. You understand? It kept coming here, and I started taking direction, the same direction y'all gave me in NA. Don't use and go to meetings. Talking about who's an addict. How I'm going to put cut on my will. I need help. The power I see comes through y'all, it says. To your example, our program is a program of attraction rather than promotion. Our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. Fuck the press, radio, and films. I'm talking about right here, public relations. Public relations is my fucking home group. You understand? When a newcomer come in, you understand? That PR there, the most necessary PR. Because we talk about a newcomer, the most important person in any meeting. Any meeting. The fucking guy in the corner grocery store is the most important person. That's not what our literature says. He may be important, but he ain't the most important person. I go by Narcotics Anonymous literature. That's all I go by. Because it's the only thing I knew. I tried everything. I tried it. You believe me? Let me tell you something. One of my last stops. I was a Macedonian. Mm-hmm. My man. I mean, you know what I mean? 32 outpatient programs, detoxes or rehab. 32 from 1967 to 1988. 6 30-day programs in the year 1988. That's 6 months. Huh? It talks about in Who's the Addict, the chapter I'm talking about. We're prisoners of our own minds and condemned by our own guilt. You understand? Institution is an institution. I don't give a fuck where it's at. It's an institution. You know? Huh. All them fuck out. What did I try? I tried hospitals with bullet wounds. You understand what I'm trying to say? You know? The last thing I remember trying was I took my last money. I had $70. I was desperate. We're talking about the desire to stop using. The desire. Why the fuck would I drive 40 miles that way to an NA meeting on a Wednesday night and 40 miles back to where I live and I'm still using? Because I had a desire. Desire of my understanding. And I didn't need my inventory taken. You know, I'm trying to tell you, maybe, I don't know, maybe I might have came a little quicker. We don't know who we killed with that shit.
That's right.
We don't know. You read about in the paper and we say, oh, you should have stopped using. What did I do? How was I acting? You know? The last spot I was in, I paid $70. I went to an Asian guy. You know, I said, how you doing, sir? I can't stop using. I'm a heroin addict. After I, say, fuck, I'm a heroin addict. He said, how you going? He said, I think I can hold you. I said, sir, if you can help me any way you can, I appreciate it. Oh, I can kill you. I can kill you. That's the sword. I have the cure. That motherfucker sat me down in the chair. And it was a dark room, almost like a base house. But it was clean. It was clean. He had a little drawer, a little case of shit, and he pulled it out. He had a little light on. It looked like I was about to be electrocuted. The only light was over my head, And he pulled it out, and he pulled this drawer out with long needles in it, and he started putting them in me. Acupuncture. Put them in my arms, my legs. I had them in my ears and shit, and I was there like this. And he was twirl. He'd come by every now and then. He'd twirl one. And I must admit, it felt pretty good. I'm sick. I gotta keep coming. Shit. I wasn't needle shy. I left there, and he said, you never have to shoot heroin again, my friend. I got high that night. The only thing that's ever worked for me in my life, we're talking about who's the addict, it's been Narcotics Anonymous. I believe that I couldn't get the other words that people have. Ours was a spiritual program, not religious program. But I tried other things, religion. And I believe that I was close, but I couldn't get close enough because I was in the way. You know how they say? Check it out, this sound familiar? We sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. I couldn't get to that point because I couldn't stop using, and I couldn't stay stopped. Do you hear what I'm saying? Yeah. So I couldn't get it with the other books. I'm not naming them either. So God said, I'm going to send something down to you that you can sink your fucking teeth into. I'm going to send down the 12 steps and the 12 traditions of Narcotics Anonymous. And I've been clean since August 14th, 1989. I'm getting ready to celebrate, y'all. Listen, I'm an addict. I know I've gone way over. I love Narcotics Anonymous. I love all of you people. The ones I don't know, I hope that you'll be my new friends. And I want to thank my friends. I got friends in this room from Chicago, that's right, from Philadelphia, yeah, right, from New York City, right, from Wilmington, Delaware, from Baltimore. I got friends, and I got friends from places I don't know. If I didn't name it, it's just that I'm shot out. I'm shot out, and it feels so good. I'm a traveling addict. I go everywhere. I was in Baltimore speaking at a group anniversary Wednesday, Wilmington, Delaware on Monday, doing another hit all over God's creation. And guess what? I'll do anything to help myself and the Fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous. I need to say this in closing. You have no idea, unless you're doing this shit the way some of us are doing it. And this is not ego. I'm trying to tell you some shit here. Because sometimes you think that the people at the podium are like, oh, it's all of that. What pizzazz and pause, and it looks so great. And let me tell you something. Long hours on the road. Long hours, man. Lots of hotels and bills, expenses, gas money, auto maintenance. You understand? I'm talking about, listen to me closely, every fucking weekend I'm going somewhere, leaving the state, carrying the message of hope and the promise of freedom. And I'm not trying to say it's not about me at all. I'm trying to tell you it gets lonely. It gets lonely. Don't ever for a minute think that anybody up here, and the people that come up here know what I'm talking about. Don't think for a minute that anybody up here has this shit so tight and so together that we don't need help. My fucking ass. Let me tell you something. I need more help. More help, maybe, than most of you. I'm trying to tell you I need help. So I'm asking you, never, please, please, don't feel like you can't approach anybody who stands up here. Jackie M's going to do the banquet tomorrow night. Maybe be 1,000 addicts there. I'm going to tell you, because she tells me, because I know her. She needs help. We all need help, no matter where we're standing, no matter what kind of service we're doing. Please, because we're all addicts. And tonight I'm talking about who's an addict. I'm from the greater New Brunswick area of Narcotics Anonymous. My home group is Cha-Cha-Cha. I'm Ron H., and I want to thank you for letting me share.
Because this is the open discussion part of the meeting.
Hi, my name is Gwen. I'm an addict.
Hi, Gwen.
I'm real glad to be here. You know, this is a real good meeting. I'm nervous. I've taken a big step tonight. It's like I was listening to them talk about the behaviors and all of that, but it's like I made a move today, and I'm standing here tonight without my sleeves all on and covering myself, and it's like something that I set out to do. You know what I'm saying? See, because this addict, the biggest thing for me is to accept myself. You know what I'm saying? It's just been a real good meeting. I'm just glad to be here, because I know for real, I am truly an addict. You know what I'm saying? When he talked about the jails and institutions, it's like I just sat there and because I could identify. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to keep coming, because I know I'm here by the grace of God. And I know that, and whatever I have to do, I'm going to do it. It's like I came in these halls and I went back out, and I came in and I went back out. And I'm just tired. I'm real tired. And whatever I have to do, I'm going to do that. And I might have to come to a lot of you all for suggestions, because I was always one of those, oh, I know. And for real, see, I don't know. And I don't know how to truly do this, but I believe in my heart that I'll learn if I stay here. You know what I'm saying? I know I didn't just stumble here by accident. I don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm alive for a reason. And I'm going to keep coming. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Gwen. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Johnny, and I'm an addict. I could identify with a lot of things that the man said over here. I mean, the hardest thing that I ever faced was when I was coming back. It was to accept that I was an addict, and that's not it's not a easy decision at all, because I was this high-class, stuck-up-nose bastard that I didn't think that was me. Just because I didn't use the needle, I didn't think I was an addict, and it was real hard, really, really hard. But I did the hardest thing, my first step, that it was to get here. And this is my first convention, and it was excellent. I mean, that man was real. He really went deep, and reminded me of a lot of things, and, it was just incredible, I'm a newcomer, and thanks for sharing.
Welcome.
Hi, my name's George. I'm an addict.
Hi, George.
I love listening to Ronnie share. First time I heard him was 2 years ago in Boston, and I saw this wild man up on the stage, and I instantly identified, not with all the not with all the theatrics, but the thought process. He said things that I thought. He acted out things I always wanted to act out. He was an addict, you know, and I was an addict. And even though we came from different places, I felt the identification that an addict feels when he hears someone that's just like him or her. And it doesn't matter what race, what creed, what nationality, where you came from, what project you grew up in. Like they say, from what they say, from jail to Yale. It doesn't matter where we come from. What matters is what we want to do about our problem and how the rest of us can help. And it was funny that he started mentioning recovery and relapse, because I just went up to a hospital the other night, and I chaired a meeting for an addict who is dying of the virus. And he couldn't even speak, but he said page 66, I believe. And we ended up reading Recovery and Relapse and doing the meeting on that topic. And, you know, I walked through a lot of fear when I went up there, because I never wanted to be around stuff that kicked up feelings, you know, and I ran from it. And I had to go there because it was an addict that was asking for help. You know, an addict was putting on this meeting. And, you know, he said, George, you know, maybe you'd come up and chair the meeting because you always got a positive message. And I was like, no, I can't do it. And then I thought, you know, would I want someone to say no when I was asking for help? And I had to go do what I had to go do because the program was asking me. And another addict that was just like myself was looking, you know, for some support. And, you know, when I was sitting there doing the meeting, you know, that feeling of serenity came over me, doing the right thing for the right reasons and being there, you know, right where you're supposed to be. That feeling, you know, and I don't always have that feeling because I'm usually not doing what I'm supposed to be doing and not doing things for the right reasons. I'm doing them for my reasons. And, you know, when Ron was talking about the total self-centeredness and the compulsion and the obsession, you know, I have to remember I'm an addict even in recovery. You know, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm where I'm supposed to be, and I'm right here where I'm supposed to be tonight listening, and I could identify with the, you know, the struggle of constantly trying to go forward against the disease of addiction, because I believe that if we're not striving towards recovery, we're being pushed back to relapse. There is no, you know, I'm going to stop here and rest for a while. There is none of that. You know, it's like, got to get up again at 6 o'clock in the morning, got to go to work, got to go to that meeting that night, got to go to prison and do that commitment. Damn, got to go to Boston and drive the crew back. Damn, got to pick up the newcomer and come back up here. Got to be at Ronnie's meeting, got to go eat supper, got to go tuck the kid in. You know, I ain't never done none of this in my life because they didn't allow me to take the kids where I went. And when they did, they said, what you doing in here, George, with that kid? Get out of here. You know? And then I get here and all this stuff is like new. And it keeps getting newer. Every day it's something else because the more I stay clean, the more choices I make to take on responsibilities, to better myself. You know, I started in a $40 a week room. And now I'm in a $900 a month house because I chose to go after that. And when the bills come due at the end of the month, that doesn't leave me no room to take vacations when I want. It's like when I can fit it in, you know, and I make sure that I come to conventions when I have a chance because this is where I get my battery recharge. You know, I do a lot of meetings, but there's nothing like the recovery experience that happens at a convention. You know, the bond that you form. I have friends from all over the United States that when I come to a convention, it doesn't matter where I go, I know somebody in the meeting. It's like when I went to jail, I knew somebody no matter where I went to jail. You know, it's like, hey, yeah, you know so-and-so. Oh, yeah, he's in the next block over. We'll see him out in the yard tomorrow. Oh, really? And it's like when I come to a convention, the first thing, I get in an elevator, somebody from New York there's somebody from Queens, there's someone from Baltimore, there's somebody from Detroit, you know, and it's just like, it's unbelievable the bond you form with the people you meet in this program, you know, and it reminds me who I am when I come here because I'm working on myself. You know, I left my problems in Boston. You know, I'm here, I'm serious. I left the beeper, I left the phone, I left everything. You know, I did call and give him the phone number and the room number, just in case. You know, I ain't there yet. I just can't totally walk away. But, you know, and then I come here and I start to work on myself. Who is an addict? You know, I'm going to go to some step workshops and start getting busy, you know, about that change because this is a process, a never-ending process. Just like that disease, you know, it keeps going. You know, and it progresses in recovery, you know, because I know my thinking has gotten sicker over the 4.5 years I've been clean. It hasn't gotten any better. You know, things I think about now would have scared the shit out of me if I thought about them in my first 6 months of recovery. You know, I'm so glad God didn't put those thoughts in my head when I had 6 months clean, because I would have been gone. Now I got some time, I can... Well, you don't have to listen to that, George. You're all right. Go to a meeting, because I know I'm an addict, and I'm real grateful for that. And thank you.
My name is Henry, and I'm a miracle.
Hi, Henry.
Thank God for Narcotics Anonymous. You know, I really appreciate you, Ron, you know, the message you gave, because of the mere fact that you took compulsion and obsession and you brought that stuff up close and personal. I mean, I'm going on 11 years in recovery, man. And I'm saying, damn. You know? I mean, some of my compulsions is still there. You know, I mean, damn. I mean, I never just heard it broken down that way before, you know, and you made it real. You made it real for me, you know what I mean? You broke it down where I could understand it. You made it simple. You didn't complicate anything. And if somebody couldn't get that message, they just can't get anything at all. You know, and you talk about the murder, you know, spending 15 years in prison. I spent damn near 20. I was sentenced to 40 years in Summers for killing a guy. And it wasn't my addiction, it was my compulsion and obsession. It was me, my way of thinking all my life, man. You know, my attitude, my behavior, man. It was always about me, and I always had that compulsion. You know, I did stuff when I didn't even have to do it, man. You know, and damn, and I'm sitting there, and I'm saying, wow, I can't believe this here. You know, but the mere fact that I thank God for the program of Narcotics Anonymous, and you know what I really thank for NA is H&I.
That's right.
The subcommittee of Narcotics Anonymous, because if it wasn't for H&I, I would never heard the message of recovery. You know, and it's because of H&I that I'm standing here today. It's because of H&I, man. I have a few 24 hours. It's because of H&I, man. I'm here to meet you, man. You know, and I thank God for Narcotics Anonymous, because I'm meeting all kind of people, you know, all over United States. I go a lot of different places, and I'm meeting people, you know. And this would have never happened because I was confined to one area in my addiction.
Come on.
One area. And I never went outside of that scope. You know, so I never had the opportunity to meet new people. I had to rip off the same old people all the time. I had to use the same old people all the time because I never went outside that scope. Nobody was going to allow me to come outside that scope and come into their life area anyway. You know, so, you know, I really thank God for this here program of Narcotics Anonymous, and I thank God for the life that he has given me today, to be able to be who I am today, to be able to do what I'm doing today. And I say that I'm a miracle because I ain't got to play Russian roulette anymore. I say I'm a miracle because I don't have to wake up and put a pistol in somebody's face no more. I'm a miracle because I ain't got to try to turn some young girl out anymore. I'm a miracle because I'm not running the streets of Hartford with a pistol in my hand anymore. And I'm truly a miracle today. You know, I am a miracle, and it's because of Narcotics Anonymous. God is the giver of the gift.
That's right.
And I constantly thank God for this gift. You know, and I always say that, you know, I use the word grateful a lot. And lately I had to start looking at that word grateful because of the mere fact, if you want to know how grateful I am, just follow me home. You know, see how I beat up on my woman, see how I talk about people, see how I treat the cat and the dog, and see how I treat my neighbors, and see how I cheating on my wife. That's gratitude. You know, so when people say they're grateful, you know, I say just follow them home. And that's how I want to live my life today, that when I'm say I'm grateful, you could be able to follow me home and watch exactly how I'm living today. My name is Henry, and I'm a grateful recovering addict.
Thanks, Henry.
Good evening, family. I'm an addict from New York named Eric. I'd like to thank God for this moment and you people for being here. Ron, thanks for the hit. You know, God gives some precious gifts. He outdid himself with you because you some piece of work. You know, I appreciate the references to the literature too. And you said, I came up here to share about something you said that's real important about the people that come up to this podium. You know, they told me when I came up here, I earned the right for y'all to take shots at me. And the bottom line is, those hours on the road, man, traveling to carry this message. Whoever said freedom ain't free, ain't know what they was talking about. See, or whoever said freedom is free, I should say, because freedom's not free. It's a price to be paid. You see, and a long time ago, years ago, I read in a Spider-Man comic book, they said, with great gifts come great responsibilities. I ain't had no gift greater than this. And my responsibility is not only to keep it up, but to give it away to anybody, anywhere, anytime, under any circumstances, by any means necessary, who wants what I have. And I used to hear people say stuff like, there are no musts in NA. And the person that's my sponsor today told me they must not have read the basic text. Come on. All right? And the first must that he pointed out to me was in the 11th step, the last line. It said, we must freely and gratefully give away that which has been freely and gratefully given to us, which is the message. He made a reference to the 5th tradition, that last paragraph, telling you what the message is. See, I needed to learn what the message was. They took me to the literature. See, they said this program was founded on written spiritual principles, because if I told him and he told him and he told her, it might not come back the same way. So they recorded it. All right? And what it told me was that that's all we could give, was the message, because that's all we have. We share our experience, strength, and hope, because that's what's effective. If it don't come from a heart, it can't touch your heart. Game recognized game. If I told you I read a book and this is how it works, that's not as effective as somebody coming up here and telling you about the things that happen in their life and the changes that have occurred in their life as a result of applying these spiritual principles. You know, H&I, you know, the brother was up here talking about it. That's one of our most vital subcommittees. I think they took a survey a few years ago, and over half the members of Narcotics Anonymous heard the message for the first time in an institution of some kind, of some sort. Whether it was jail or detox rehab, you heard it in an institution of some sort. And as such, I know for me, when they talk about giving it away, I go to page 102. It said, in order to receive, I must be willing to give. I want to receive the blessings of recovery. So I give of myself, I give of my resources, and I give freely what I found here. And that's a better way of living. In closing, I'd like to say that, you know, I heard you a few times also, you know, and something that's very important is the message we carry by the way we live. You see, and the things you do, traveling, coming up here and look at the man's beat down spiritually. Beat down. He was in the war up here, you know, and I know that feeling. You know, it's like when God comes rippling through you, that's too many voltage for a human being to take. You see? And only somebody that's been there could truly identify. If you haven't experienced that yet, keep coming. You know, but what I like to say is that's what it's about. It's not about giving when, like, you got 100 and you give somebody $1. No. It's about giving till you can't give no more. It's about giving all that you got. And then tomorrow's a new day. Thanks for letting me share.
Thanks for sharing. We have about 5 minutes left.
Can I say something? I'm an addict. My name is Harold.
Hey, Harold.
I was going to say something about who's an addict, right? I just recently was told that a friend of mine's mother died. And I remember I used to get a reefer when I was using. And we used to get cop money off of her, you know. And when I got clean, of course she used to smoke reefer, it was easy for people to get her to start lacing. And she started lacing after me and her daughter got clean. And I took her to that pamphlet. Am I an addict? You know, because I thought that it was kind of one of them pamphlets that had a little humor in it, and it kind of got people in touch. So anyhow, she died, and she died using. And the day somebody was talking about whether or not we need for somebody to die in order for us to live. You know, the question along that. And you know, I didn't want to see this woman pass using, and I did make an attempt to tell her about the Fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous, you know. But somewhere in that thing it said only you can answer this question. And, you know, somewhere I just we couldn't seem, or I couldn't seem to get her to even ask the question, you know. And, you know, that's, you know, we was also talking about H&I and getting out and trying to carry the message to the addict who still suffers. And the reality, you know, is that most of the people, you know, they say that when you know better, you do better. And most of the people that's using, right, they don't know who's an addict, you know, like we know it. Like when, I mean, we be like, I'm an addict and I'm proud almost, you know what I mean? But the active addict is so caught up in denial that he ain't even trying to even pose the question. You know, so, you know, I just sometimes you think about it and you get in touch. But, you know, I'm glad that it's a new breed of becoming addicts, right? You know, carrying the message and putting a hit out on addiction and everything. I'm glad to hear that. And that's all, you know. I just want to come up and say something because because Martin's here, actually. Thanks for telling me.
Thanks, Harold. I'd like to thank Ron for sharing with us, and I forgot in the beginning to welcome everybody from out of town to Springfield, and I hope that you enjoy your stay here. And we have a nice way of closing.